Creative Corners work with your MISTI stamping tool. These are must-have tools for perfect positioning and really creative stamping. So you can be sure to see the product video for the MISTI if you have not seen that before, because this is just one of those amazing stamping tools where you place your paper, you place your stamps. It's very easy to stamp with the MISTI stamping tool. Now, the MISTI Creative Corners are designed to show you, make perfect stamped images, and you're going to get some really interesting shapes here. You get 2 solid triangles with varying angles. You get 2 magnetic corner guides, so those magnets are built right into these hard acrylic pieces, and you're going to get 1 L-shaped guide. So I think these corner guides are the #1 thing that I've used so far with these MISTI Creative Corners, but just about everything on here has got some really fun uses. So we're going to get these ready, and we're going to show you a couple of things that you can do with these. And like I said, be sure and see the product video for the MISTI if you're not familiar with that. So let's start by opening up the MISTI, and I'm going to place 2 of the corner guides right here in the corner. I'm just going to show you a few things. I do want to point out that on the back of the Creative Corners box, it definitely shows you some great ways of using these. I also found some great YouTube videos for that, but this is just an easy way to use it, and I'll show you right here. So we've got that set up, and we've got the paper that I want to use right here. So this is what's cool about this. I can go ahead and place my paper. I can anchor it down with the 2 magnetic pieces here, and then when I know that exactly where I have it, that I have it lined up with those edges and everything, I can remove those guides so that when I'm ready to stamp, I can stamp off the edge. Now, you're thinking, why couldn't you do that before? Why couldn't I just place it here? Because sometimes I want this edge to just be perfect. I want the alignment to be just so that I want everything straight. And if I put this right here, because we have this edge here, I can't really stamp off the edge. So again, those guides are going to give me just the right distance, and I can use 1, or I can use 2, and they're magnetic, so they're going to stay in place. I can get that just where I want it. I know where I want my stamp, so I can go ahead. This is already in place, so I can remove those magnetic edges. And now I'm ready to stamp, and I can stamp right off the edge of the page, paper. And I love that. You can get some really unique looks by lining up things perfectly and stamping off the edges like that. So like this, and this is the beauty of the MISTI. It picks up the stamp, I ink it, I stamp exactly where I want it to be, and there we go. It's right where I wanted it. I went off the edge the way I wanted. I didn't have to worry about running into the ruler. And that's the nice thing about those corner guides. Now, you can also use this L-shaped guide to align sentiments before stamping. So let's go ahead and remove these, and I'm going to place my paper right where I want it to be. Now I'm going to put my L guide in here, and I think I'll put it in this way. And I'm going to move it up. Where do I want that sentiment? Maybe I want it right about, a little something in there. Maybe I want it right about there. So let's see, maybe right about there. So here I have something that says, no, that's not the one I want. I want dearest friend, and I want it just perfectly aligned. And if it's got a nice straight edge on the bottom, I can just set it right there on that little L shape. I've got my magnets to hold the paper down. I can then remove my L shape. The stamp is exactly where I want it. I do have to remove the other stamp. Then I can fold it down, pick that up, and that's ready to stamp. And it will be stamped just exactly where I want it. Perfect alignment. I mean, if you've had trouble lining up your words when you stamp, so look at that. That's just perfectly aligned, and it's because I used that little L shape. Super quick to do, and I can make beautiful cards really easily. Another thing that we can do, let's go ahead and remove this piece of paper, add a new one, is add some new, let's see, I want to put one of these little corner guides. That gets me away from the corner, so I have a little bit more room for stamping. That's another thing that I like about this. and then I can get those placed. I know that it's perfectly in alignment here, but now I get to use these fun little angle guides. So I can place this at an angle. Now if I want that lined a little bit more on the paper, then I'm going to get one of those little angle guides. I'm going to put that back there and then place that angle. So I can get exactly where I want to, and say I want to stamp words at an angle across my paper. This is just a great way to do it. So now I've got that word centered perfectly. I'm going to remove, let's see, I get it right there. I'm going to remove my little angle, pick that up, and it's at a nice, oh, I got to remove that one too, and I've got that in place. I forgot that little stamp. I'm going to do this over to do it correctly. So I have this first is getting my distance away from the corner. I've got my angle on there. Now I can go ahead and place my stamp because I got the other stamp out of the way. And I've got that at a perfect angle. Let me see if I can pick that up without, yeah, there we go. Pick it up. And next time I'll clean that before I use it. Now I've got it picked up. I can remove those two pieces and I'm ready to stamp that at an angle. Much easier. Very simple to do. And I can stamp at an angle. Now that's one stamp at an angle. Of course you could just place a stamp and do that any old way you want, but if you want that to align with another one that's perfectly spaced, then put this back in there. Take your little stamp, and after I've cleaned it off, I would place it, and now you can place another one just at the same angle wherever you like, and just along that piece there. And we're going to pick that up with the MISTI. I didn't clean it up yet, so you can actually see what's going to happen. So that's great with the angles, that you can go ahead and create that and put that word celebrate all over the card, and each time you do it, you're going to have it at that exact same angle. And all you have to do is just keep adding these little pieces here to stack that up, and now you can do it again. So I'll put that in place. That's nice and tight, just like so. Add the word again, and it's just kind of a nice tool for getting everything lined up with each other. Really simple to do. Remove those guides and then go ahead and stamp. And so if you are having trouble lining things up, then this is just going to be a great tool for doing that. So each of these guides that we're showing you works really well with the MISTI, and all of them except for the L guide also works with the mini MISTI. And so check out the other MISTI product videos so you can see the different ways to use the MISTI. But with the Creative Corners, you're really going to be able to make your stamping even easier.